that closer. Whoa. Wow. I figure this is a good place to start. Little another roadside excursion. Could see some stuff in an area that I drove past, and wanted to take a closer look. Stuff like this, and stuff like that tree up there, just almost parallel to the ground, way up. So yeah, this is actually an area that I was hoping to get to on another hiking trip, and I realized that I was too far away to get to it. Just, you know, taking a look driving by. Look at that up there. What is that doing up there? What a strange way for a tree to break. 40 feet up. But if you watch my videos, you probably know it's no secret what I'm thinking. Especially with spots that I pick out. Just with that up there, I'm just kind of curious. I mean, it looks like this stuff has been here for quite some time. So, but sometimes I do look at like something like this that looks really old, and you'll still see some things with younger stuff. Wow, look at this, just whole, oh, look at that freaking bend in the middle. Yeah, that has purpose right there. I'll get a side look at that bend. Wow. So there's a tree way the heck up there that's practically parallel to the ground. I don't know if the whole thing's just hung up, but this kind of tells a story to me. No way they landed like this. And that bend right in the middle. All right, so I'm over a couple sets of logs. You can kind of see the bend a little better now. There's a break there and another tree. Look at that bend right in the middle. That, man, some people look at this stuff. I've had a lot of conversations and comments. Some people say, oh, that was wind or whatever, but others that wonder about or believe that it was Sasquatch wonder why. If they did do this, why? I don't know. I've heard a lot of stuff, and it's typically, at least from people that I hear, it's very purposeful of some kind, but it's definitely I don't know how to say it, more just more purposeful than the types of things people say are not what you'd immediately possibly think. So I'm gonna just film right here because it's clear. What I'm actually doing is taking a quick walk in this little opening to get a better look at that. Holy cow. And see, big old tree up there. So right through here, and Oh, I can't quite see it, but here's the back side of that broken one. And there it is, right there. Look at that. Look at that. That is that is one of the most, I mean, it looks like it's very, very old, except for that bend is not as nearly as old as these that are, which is interesting when you think about the age. But boy, does that ever have purpose if I've ever seen it. So there looks to be possibly a throughway here, maybe. There's all that. That's just right there in front of it. To me, that's intentional, that bend with that stick leaning up. I don't feel the need to prove and really break it down for myself, because I know where I'm at. I know what I've heard. I know what I've heard others talk about. That is like I mean, that's definitely a little structure right in front of that big break. 100%, in my opinion. But yeah, some people watch my videos, and this might be the first one they land on. And I've had some people say you think everything's Sasquatch and all that. That's to be expected. It's all good. I look at a lot of stuff, and yeah, I do think that they did probably the majority of stuff that I look at, and in my honest opinion, I think they do more stuff than a lot of people realize. That's just my feeling. You can't prove or argue this stuff scientifically. You can't say that I saw them do it, although I have been watching a channel who knows the woods behind his house like the back of his hand, and he will go out there and there will be a broken tree, and it wasn't windy at all. It'd be like an oak tree. Like, there's no way that it could have broken, and there it is. And it's really cool because a lot of stuff he finds is consistent with other stuff that I've suspected. This right here is loaded with just even like the way that this is perched up here. Just it's one of those things you take a closer look and you start to see it looks intentional. It's kind of interesting how these are all intersected on that. I also kind of just look at what I observe, and then I also go off of patterns that I've seen in the past. I'm looking at, there's like 2 or 3 trees that are all stacked but at an angle right there. Yeah, and then we have this like open valley with like wicked thick brush right there in the background. Let's see, this stuff is old too. But then we have, that looks pretty neat up there against that tree. But this right here, let's see. Get closer, there's clearly no people walking through here, at least not the hairless ones. I would say the Sabe people, absolutely, I know they have around here. But look at this. So the way these are leaned, they're all broken. Like, what are the chances, if this was natural, to have all those land right there? Just no way. There's also that one. I see that a lot. Big end up, just leaned up against a tree like that. Often just one, but here we have a few of them. And then there's the branch, and then even over here, there's another one right there. So clearly handmade. Even up there, I'm sure you can see stuff. And yeah, it's cool. I don't always explain what I'm thinking. I just kind of accepted some things, and I just kind of look, and I would say that that was bent intentionally. I don't know why, but I just see it so much. I started to just notice and how they're all connected right there. There's a bunch right there. But, you know, I'm kind of just explaining. Anyone is wondering what's at least going on in my mind. What is my basis for thinking that Sasquatch did so much of this? And that's kind of some of it. There's a curve right there that I can see is hooked in up there, possibly. But there's like 2 more branches on that tree that are slightly bent. So maybe that kind of tree bends that way, but it does look hooked in right there. So I've just seen so many arches, so many that I know were not naturally grown, including one that I just saw show up overnight one time. That was unbelievable. But all right, so this is in an area where I mow. And basically I had to mow underneath it. And if you've watched my videos, you know how I feel about arches. But nothing else fell, just this one tree here. So I'm just gonna. Wow, this is cool. Let's see what else we find. Gosh, I did not expect to be doing so much video so early on, and I don't know. I just kind of turn the camera on and go with the flow. Quick look here. It's my shoe, obviously. There's a really clear impression of some kind. It doesn't look like people pass through here. Could be, but just noticed. It's definitely indicative to me of, oh, pretty large and possibly human shaped. It looks like a big toe and all that. If you could see that. That would be like the toes, I think. Big toe and going down. Pretty cool. I rarely see something that's really stands out like that anywhere. All right, so this is so freaking thick right here, every way. Right here, I'm not really seeing anything that, I mean, maybe there, I don't know. So thick in there. So I'll probably try to see if I can find a way. I want to kind of go that way. And otherwise I'll turn around and find a path of least resistance. Quite often though, when I'm in a place like this, if you just get closer, like I can kind of see, maybe you can get through there, maybe there. It's usually not as bad as it seems when you just get up close. There's so often some kind of little game trail kind of thing, maybe human trail, in a lot of places. Even though this looks hopeless, like the dead end, but I do kind of see something there, so I'll probably just try to go that way. All right, so I was able to make it through that spot that I thought might have hope. If I had a GoPro, I might have been able to film it. So initially, I'm very intrigued what's through here. I'm kind of sharing a little bit more what's on my mind. And gosh, I probably sound like I think I'm an expert, but I definitely don't. I'm just sharing my thoughts, my beliefs. And, but that being said, that's interesting to me. I don't know, but just the way that's bent there. Recently, I've seen a lot of smaller stuff like that, like branches that there was one spot where they were clearly done, and then I started watching for that, and I've seen more. But right here with this laid across that, which is laid across that one, and once again, I've seen this before, it's on top, it's below this one, it's above that one. It's just, it's got that, I don't know, what do you call it, look? Just like they've been placed. There's another one there, with a broken tree next to it. And yeah, so let's see what we find. I don't know. Maybe this is all there will be here. I never know. I definitely feel like I've gotten pretty lucky with, I mean, I feel like every single trip I've taken lately has had some amazing stuff. I pretty much never know what I'll find. Oh gosh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's a lot here. No doubt in my mind that these are structures. Sharing a little bit more of my honest thoughts in this video. It's all good, but anyways, so and one of the reasons was I saw that bend right there. That's broken. Gunshot in the background. That's an arch right there. It's hooked right down there. You can see it. It's pretty solid there too. And so those right there are probably all hooked into stuff. So freaking awesome. There's another one there, kind of against that tree. So cool. People talk about tridents. Look at that. It's almost like a perfect trident. It's not something I see a lot of, but I have heard people talk about tridents. Oh, right. Oh man, I just looked down and look at that. It's held down by that. Man. But yeah, there's a bunch. What I was talking about is how these are all, you can see those are tucked in there underneath that. These are all held down by that. Which is absolutely hand done. Like, just the physics of it. Like, big limbs like that, they're not going to be as graceful to gently hook and gently curve these branches. That I can say for certain, with certainty. With certainty. Sometimes you might see a big tree, you know, like that one right there, and thinking that it gently curved a tree like this. Have you ever seen a tree fall or heard it? If I think of it, or maybe whatever, I'll put in a little recording and just imagine that. That is what it was. Oh my gosh, and it started. I'm gonna have to leave in my singing Wende Yahoo. Oh my gosh. That was a tree coming down, and a big one. Landing on one of these and gently bending it. Anyway. All right. Anyways, maybe I'll stop sharing my thoughts at that point. I think you get the drift. I do think about this stuff when I look at it, but I've also just seen a lot. That little one gets me right there. You can see the little one that I was looking at. And there's those, and these two that are kind of coming up to a point there, and these are kind of like another triangle out of big limbs, big trees. Here is a beautiful, look at that one. Gorgeous, right there. And then there's something there I see a lot of, which is that limb that's just hanging there. Considering where we are and the amount of times I've seen that in unusual fashion, I feel there's purpose, and it's once again through the why. There's just some things that are not as obvious and could be more easily presumed to be natural fall, that I think they do. I think that they do stuff like this limb right here. I absolutely do. And I absolutely have no idea why. Pointers, communication, anyways. That is beautiful. Look at that beauty. That lush greenery right there. That is gorgeous. And anyone that wants to see, there's the top of it. It's pinned under this. Wow, it's really stiff too. Look how old this is. It's like, it's been here forever. Unlike this hasn't been here that long. And it obviously broke a long time ago. So that right there, you can see there's no way that this thing grew underneath that. I mean, when it was a baby, it was over here. So how did that suddenly get over there? Sorry, I guess I did do a little bit more talking and explaining. But it's all good. Go with the flow. I'm just loving it. Loving that green too. It's just beautiful. I just love this. And I'm right next to this, and that too is kind of parallel with it. Here's another pile of trees that is, gosh, it's almost like geometric angles. There's like this perfection in the angles. So speaking of geometric angles, this is what I could see from a little ways away. This is, I don't know, 100 yards from where I started. So, and there's another. See, when I end up seeing something like that, it makes me wonder about stuff like this. There's just no reason for 4 trees to be in a pile next to each other like that. Especially with that, it's like they were brought over. I know I'm far from the only person that's talked about that. Gosh, go look at Colorado Bigfoot and the trees out there. There's some nice gunshots. Okay, so let's start with that. And then you have this, talking about angles. I've talked about angles, but what I'm usually talking about is just one tree at an angle like that. Over here, look at this. But, all right, so what do we have here? Wow. That is cool. So yeah, we've got that, and then just everything around, right over here. Just got caught in a vine. Right here, there's this. Freaking cool. You can see how it just goes right through. Look at all that on top of it there. Makes you wonder. So there's that from this angle. Since I was thinking of age, like how those have been here a long time, it makes you wonder how this little limb got between those. It would appear that these have been here for years and not this. Somehow it's in between those. Details like that, it just couldn't happen naturally. So. Wow. Oh, wow. This, it just looks kind of like it's hooked to those. It's kind of another pattern I've seen on a smaller scale. So that's maybe like an arch type of thing. This tree is obviously really old. It's neat how it's kind of, it's almost like it was placed in a way so it would stay up off the ground. Possibly to do that. This is me trying to possibly get a grasp of why. So here we are from a different angle, looking at a lot of angles. So I think we're gonna end the video pretty soon here. Maybe have a look at it from the back. I think it's cool just look at that. Seeing all the different views. Even right here is one that's off the ground right in front of me. And there it is from the back. Got over there, that one, and possible curve right here, bend type of thing, like an arch. Awesome. Anyways, yeah, I think this is a good place to end. Quick end of the day hike. So thanks for hanging out. See you on the next one. Blessings. Wow. What was that? if that was anyone back there that I just heard holy shit.